Today's show is sponsored by Smart's Give Greatness Contest. Go to coolcutteacher.com/greatness to enter an educator and yourself as the person nominating to win a classroom technology package valued at $40,000. Learn more about the details of this contest at the end of the show. Passion Projects in Kindergarten and First Grade. This is episode 308.
The 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with Vicki Davis. Every weekday, you'll learn powerful, practical ways to be a more remarkable teacher today.
Today we're talking with Lindsey Danhoff about passion projects. Well, you've heard a lot about passion projects, but maybe not for kindergartners and first graders like Lindsey's doing. So, Lindsey, what do passion projects look like with younger kids?
We start with, what do you want to know? What questions do you have? What do you want to know more about? And so the students have generated their wonderings. And then from there, we have started to look at, what does research look like? What does it mean? And we've created a list of the different ways where you can investigate your questions. So you can investigate through a book. You can find some videos online on YouTube. You can ask experts. And then from there, the students have been using time in class. And we've also partnered up with our media specialist. She's helped the students find books in library, and she's also helped them learn some ways to share their knowledge through Google Slides or Wixie. And it's just really happening organically where they're using their time to research and create presentation of what they know.
Let's go back. Generate their wonderings.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. How do they generate their wonderings?
I think that's something that it comes natural for first graders and kindergartners. And I was blown away by the topics that they are wondering about. And if I would have never asked this question, I would have never known that, somebody in our classroom was wondering about Braille. And another person in our classroom really wanted to learn how to speak Spanish. And another student was wondering about albino animals. So just asking them, it just really unleashed a lot of different topics that I didn't even know they were interested in.
So do they write these down? Do they share these with you verbally? How does that work?
What I did was I told them, you're going to have a chance to learn anything that you want to. And then we watched a video from Kid President about the world needs you. And so we kind of talked about, when we know something, we have the responsibility to share it with others. So what's something that you want to know more about that you could share with others? And so we just started generating a list on a chart together, and it really didn't take much effort at all because I feel like they already had these genuine wonderings inside of them, and they just needed the time and the space to have them pulled out.
I love that. Okay, so let's go to your second point. You have the kids investigate. Name some ways your kids investigate their wonderings. I guess in some ways they're wandering through their wonderings. How do they do that?
Totally. And I think this whole passion project is definitely more about the process than the product. I think they're learning more along the way, and that's what's important. So they have been using the Chromebooks in our classroom to do Google searches. I've been amazed by the videos that they've been finding. One student was curious about origami, and she was able to find a YouTube video that was teaching her to do the origami that she was interested in. I have a picture of her to document it that she was folding along as she was watching this video. I think a lot of them went to the public library because I communicated this to parents of, these are their wonderings and this is how you could help. So reading books from the public library, they even started to go to the library and find books for their friends. One girl brought in books. She's like, well, I know so-and-so is studying this type of animal, so I picked up this book for them. So it's become like a community effort in helping each other grow and learn and find the answers to their questions.
Awesome. So then they share what they've learned. Now, are they presenting these presentations to each other to share it, or how does that work?
It's been very open-ended with very little parameters. The only parameters were, you just have to have a clear topic. And then when you're presenting, make sure you maybe include 4 facts. We've kind of generated what are some ways we can share a knowledge? And so they came up with a whole bunch of choices. Well, you could make a video, you could make a Google slide, you could make a Wixie. Maybe you make a model out of clay, and maybe you make a book, a poster. So then they signed up or made a choice of which way they would like to present their knowledge. And so we've had a wide variety of different showcases being presented to the class.
Okay, call me clueless. What's a Wixie?
Our library media specialist knows more about this, but you kind of create pages, digital pages to a book that then can be presented as like a digital book.
So how much time are you spending a week, and how many presentations have your students done by now?
I would say we started in around January, February, so it hasn't been too long. And I would say about 13 students have presented so far, with about half of the class left to go. So like I said, there's no parameters. You can present whenever you feel like you have solved all of your questions. Students are just letting me know like, hey, I'm ready today to present. And then we just allow for about 15 minutes a day for a passion project presentation. But in terms of working in class, they've been working, during indoor recess when it was snowing. They are working once they have some of their work done for Reader's Workshop. They're getting on the computers and investigating that way. They're reading their books during Reader's Workshop. So it's kind of just folded into our day where we're not really setting aside time for it, but it's become organically a part of what we do.
Lindsey, what is a mistake that you would like teachers to avoid with doing passion projects with younger kids?
I would say one mistake is a couple of them have been curious about mythical things such as mermaids. And so they've really struggled with finding research and information about mermaids. So I think in the future, I would try to steer them towards a topic that, I'm positive that they will be able to find a lot of information on.
Yeah, and there's all these mermaid conspiracy theories. I mean, I think it was Jolie Barker posted on Facebook the other day that somebody said he was a mermateer and that she would look good in a mermaid tail. And I'm like, what? Like, there's some very strange people out there. So I guess I could see that. Okay.
Yeah, and they've even admitted, like, I'm not finding very much information, or I need some more resources. So in the future, I'd like to find a way to navigate that.
Okay, some teachers would say, oh my goodness, if I did this, all my kids would goof off and hang out in the corner and throw pencils at the ceiling. Would you agree or not?
I would completely disagree. They have been asking every moment of time, can I work on my passion project? Can I work on my passion project? Our computers have been being used for testing, and they're saying, when is testing going to be over? I want to work on my passion project. They're even finding ways like to relate it to math so they can squeeze in passion project time during math time. So they are highly engaged. They're very motivated. And I've been able to just sit back and facilitate questioning and watch them ask questions and take learning beyond our classroom.
Okay, now this is intriguing. You said they're figuring out how to use math in their passion projects. Give me an example.
For example, one student is interested in the history behind mathematics and has been researching how, math started with the cavemen and women, and that there's actually mathematical writing on caves. And she's just finding any way to work on her passion project.
Oh, that is so cool. And that I know this is shocking to some teachers, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, totally. And this is totally an experiment, and I went into it with an experiment. But when you let go of control and give it to the students, it's truly amazing what they can do.
I love that. And we'll end with that. When you let go of control and give control to the students, it's amazing what they will do. I believe passion projects belong in every classroom. Students need to have a reason they want to come to school. They need to have things they're excited about, and learning should be exciting. And we can do this in all of our classes. We can have wonderings. We can help them investigate, and we can help them share their learning. So let's do it. SMART wants to recognize educators across the globe who inspire greatness in their students, peers, or community. Go to coolcatteacher.com/greatness to nominate your favorite educator in recognition of their greatness. Each nominee and nominator will be entered to win a classroom technology package valued at $40,000. So this means the winner and his or her nominee each win a $20,000 package, including one 7000 series smartboard and smart document camera, 30 Chromebooks, and smart training and implementation. Give greatness and nominate a great educator today.
Thank you for listening to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. You can download the show notes and see the archive at coolcatteacher.com/podcast. Never stop learning.